Hi guys, this video is actually going step by step with how to revamp a human hair wig. First, I started with shampooing my wig in the sink, in the tub, wherever you do it. No conditioner though, because the hair mask that I use that I'm brushing through right now in this wig, it deep conditions and it's super thick, so you don't need to condition as well as do a hair mask. So I used a hair mask on this and I let it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. The recommended is 15 to 20, but since this is a revamp, I did a little bit longer. And I'm brushing from bottom to the top so I don't rip out any unneeded hair that I'm not gonna thin out. And then I made sure that I did this part on the wig that lays on the nape of my neck because it gets really clumpy, and that was probably the roughest part on this wig. So I just made sure that I had a lot of product through that part of the wig. And then using a wig stand is easiest for this, just because it's a lot of work to hold it while you're revamping a wig. So a wig stand works the best. And then here I'm going to go through cutting off the little clips that are on the wig, just because I have a shaved head and I don't have my bio hair anymore. I have no need for those, and I plan on having a shaved head for a while, so I go through and clip them off. It's pretty easy to clip these off. You just got to be really careful so you don't cut the wig cap. So when I show you the close-up, it shows that when you pull it apart, the clip away from the wig, you can clip the two threads at the top, and then it can easily tear after you clip those two threads, and then you get to the bottom two threads and you can snip them off. You just have to be really careful with this process because you can clip the wig cap. I think I actually accidentally clipped a little hole at the bottom here. No big deal, but you want to be really careful that you don't do that. And then this part, I am going over how I effectively get a natural human or a natural hairline. So I use a little razor, a face razor actually, and I'm very careful with this because this can easily split the lace on your wig. You have to be really careful not to put too much pressure on it. And then once I'm done doing that, I take the tweezers to the wig and I pluck as many hairs as I can see. I try and not pluck too hard because once again, you can rip the lace on your wig, so you want to be careful with that. So right here I'm just going through and plucking to get a more realistic hairline. You don't want any hairs in the middle of it because you want it to look like your scalp is showing through. And since I still have hair and it's pretty dark, I make sure that I just go over, when I flip it over, I just go over with some concealer in that area to make it look more like my scalp is showing through. Don't judge this wig because it's very old. It's a couple years old and I only wore it a couple times, so I did not know how to cut lace. That's why it's all weird and jagged. I didn't know how to glue down and clean off glue, so that's why there's still old glue on it, but it still works. It's still a good wig. So yeah, I go in from the front to the back of where I put a hairline with concealer, and you can see that it bleeds through a little bit, so you just got to be careful not to use too much because it will bleed through to the hair. And the best way to kind of make that look more natural is putting like a makeup sponge or even a damp paper towel there so you can kind of scrub off a little of the excess, as I'm doing here. And this wig, like I said, is not styled well, so you will see me cutting the lace because I had a lot of leftover lace on one of the sides, as you can see right there. I did not know what I was doing when I first got wigs. I had no idea how to cut lace. I had no idea how to glue wigs down. That's why I went to putting on hats on my wigs all the time. So here I'm just kind of fixing it up, making it look a little bit better. And then the next couple of videos is me gluing it down. And that is a process because I do from ear to ear. I do not do the back of my head with gluing it down. So I take a comb. It's going to show you in the next clip that I take a comb and I put a little bit of hair from ear to ear on the hairline down to make it look more natural when I glue it down. And it's going to be a sped up version of that, and I'll get back into it when it gets to the part where I'm styling it. Like I said, this is a process. So in this next clip, I am going over how I style it. And before I started styling it, I thinned it, and you can go a couple videos back to see how I thin wigs. But I go layer to layer with a curler or a wand, whatever you want to call it. And at the end, I kind of went for a more fancy look for this one. I brushed out the curls, and it gave me some volume because I didn't thin the top as much. I did thin the bottom, so it looks more natural. And I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed.